I read this story the other day, and then I done some research on it to make sure it's true. You can hear about anything. And I read this story about a sheep who got separated from his fold. Now this sheep, listen to me. I won't keep you very long. This sheep got separated from the fold. All right? He was still a sheep. He couldn't change it, right? He can't change it. He's still a sheep. But he got separated from the fold and hid in a cave. All right? For 6 years, this sheep hid in a cave. I'm not making this up. But there's a point to it. For 6 years, this sheep hid in a cave. Yeah. Not around a shepherd. But the other sheep in that fold. Now this has happened over in England. The other sheep in this fold, year after year, the sheep would do. The shepherd would shear the sheep to take the wool off of it, and it would grow and grow. And they'd do it again, every so often. I don't know how many times a year they do it, or if it's once a year, I don't know. But that's what they would do. And that weight of that wool on a sheep would only get to about 10 pounds, maybe a little more, and that's as big as it would ever get. But this sheep that separated itself, that it got separated from the fold, it hid in a cave. That when they found it, it was still alive. But it was hungry because it had been away from the fold for such a long time. But what I like, Brother Darrell, about this story is that this sheep, when they found it, this story goes that this sheep's wool weighted so much on its legs that it couldn't hardly even walk. That the wool on this sheep was like 67 pounds. You couldn't even hardly see its face, that it was carrying around this weight. They just carried it around. Year after year after year, this sheep would carry this weight. And every time, every year that it come about, Brother Jim, that this sheep would get more weight on it. That it could hardly even walk. That it just stayed there. That it wasn't for sure where it was at. It was hid in a cave away from the shepherd. Do you see where I'm going? That it separated itself from the sheepfold. That it was out amongst the caves. And that it didn't have the shepherd to be able to shear it and to take the burden off of it like it done the rest of the sheep, but on its own, that it because it did not draw nigh to the shepherd, because he did not continue to walk close to the shepherd, that it caused and created its own burdens upon it, that it carried it for 6 years, time and time again, that it could barely walk. Brother Shannon, because it didn't have nobody to be able to shear, to take the wool off of it. Brother Jim, it didn't have nobody to carry the burdens for it, so it had to carry it itself. But I'm telling you today, church, if you draw nigh to the shepherd, if you draw nigh to him, get close up to him, what will he do? He'll bear your burdens for you. He'll take care of them. He'll take that weight off of your shoulder. If you lean upon him, that's what he's for.
Amen.
That's what he wants to do.
That's right.
I'm glad today that I serve the good shepherd who cares for his sheep. And I won't. Sometimes I don't. And sometimes I'm not obedient. And I struggle. And I have hard times, Brother Darrell. But I know that my shepherd is the good shepherd. And I know that he cares for his sheep. And I know where he is. When I get away and I'm not obedient sometimes, I know where he is. And I can get on my knees and I can begin to talk to him. And I can cry out unto him. And he'll begin to take that shepherd's staff that comfort us. And he'll begin to pull me closer. And I can tell you today that when I'm close to the shepherd, shepherd, I'll have no problems. I'll have no fear. I'll have joy. Joy. Why? Because I'm drawn nigh to the shepherd. Church, where are you today? Where are you today? How is your life? Are you nigh to the shepherd? Are you nigh to him? Or are you far off?
Are you carrying burdens?
Are you carrying burdens that you don't need to carry? Are you weighted down with life? That's your choice. That sheep that left, that sheep that wandered off, he caused them burdens to be on itself. He caused those burdens. But he didn't have to.
Nope.
He didn't have to. But I love to talk about the shepherd. Brother Arlie. And Brother Darrell already told you there's one way. One way into that sheepfold. Who is the door? Jesus.
Amen.
Jesus is that door. You'll not get in any other way but Jesus.